Hi everybody, welcome to Tangle Break. Today is part 2 of our pumpkin project. We're going to be doing jetties, wysteria, huggins, and printemps. So we'll be completing 4 of them today. So just go ahead and grab your pumpkin that we've been working on and several of the Sharpie fine point black markers. And let's go ahead and get started with day 2. So here's our pumpkin from yesterday, part 1. And we have stricles and shattuck and flux and raddox. And we're going to just start on the right side of raddox. And the first one we're going to do today is jetties. So to start with jetties, we're just going to make orbs. And I'm going to have them going underneath and underneath the border. So I'm going to have them going under, these orbs are going to go underneath some of the orbs that they're beside and going underneath the border. And I'm going to fill in this whole space with these orbs. And then just picturing where they would be underneath, and then just fill in any little spaces between the orbs, coming around, and just picturing where it would be underneath, and then fill it in. This area is actually so close to the stem, instead of putting a jetty there, I'm just going to fill it in, ink it in, and that'll make it easier. Okay, just continue making these orbs to fill in the whole space. Let's go ahead and label this segment. This tangle is jetties. Okay, we've finished all the orbs. Now we're going to go back in and make bands. So I'm going to make a line going across and then an aura and then leave a little space and then another little one. And then I'm going to fill in the middle band that we just made. And that's all it is to it. That's it. So I'm going to go and do them in different directions. So 2 little bands, one wider and then another little one, and then fill in the middle. And that's how you do jetties. And just to give it some interest, I'm going to have the bands going in different directions. You could also draw the wider band first, and then aura, a small band on top and on the bottom, and then fill in the middle. So either way you want to do it, whichever way is easier for you. Okay, jetties is now finished. So let's move on to the segment beside it, and we're going to make the tangle wysteria. And wysteria reminds me of spaghetti noodles. So we're just going to do a wavy line, and then we're going to go back and aura it. And this is how we're going to do wysteria. So we're going to fill in this whole segment with wavy lines. From one side to the other, and then go back and aura it and fill in this whole space. And then at the end, we'll fill in with our marker all around the spaghetti that we just made. So just relax and make your wavy lines and aura them. And you go underneath the border, you go underneath the other segments that you're making. So you just draw underneath, picture where it would be. You can go as you're going in and out of all of these other lines you're creating. And then you just follow along and aura it and fill in the whole space. Okay, let's label it. It's wisteria. And I think I have plenty of wavy lines, these little spaghetti, I call them little spaghetti noodles. And so now you can just relax and fill in the space between the wisteria lines. Okay, now Wisteria is finished, and we're going to go on to our next tangle, which is Huggins. So we're going to go to the right of Wisteria, and we're going to start at the top with a series of orbs. So I'm going to put 2 orbs side by side, leave a little space, do another 2 orbs, leave some space, another 2 orbs, and I'm going to leave a little bit larger spaces as I work my way down the pumpkin. And the orbs are a little bit bigger as we have more space to work with. And all the way down. And this is going to be Huggins. So let's go ahead and label this segment. This tangle is Huggins. Okay, so let's go back up here to the top, and we're going to connect the dots. So on the very top one, the top 2, I'm going to go on top. The next 2, I'm going to go on the bottom. And then I'm going to go on the insides to connect the whole thing. Now on this one, I'm going to mirror it. So I'm on top, and then on the right-hand side, and then on the left-hand side. So this is the pattern we're going to go all the way down. So on the bottom of these, because I did the top of those 2, inside, and then the inside. Let me turn my pumpkin so you can see. And so now we're going to alternate and go, that was on the bottom of those. So now we do the top of these to mirror it. And then on the outside, and then on the other side, we're going to do the outside. Turn my pumpkin so you can see. And that's it. So let's just keep alternating all the way down. So we did the top of those 2. So we do the bottom of these 2. Now we're going to do the inside on this side, and we're going to do the inside on the left-hand side. Okay, on this next one, we did the bottom. So on these next 2, we're going to do the top. And then we're going to do the outside, and then the outside on the left hand. Okay, now we did the top on those 2. So now on the next 2, we're going to connect them on the bottom. And then on the right side on the inside, and on the inside over here. And then we just have one more. So we did the bottom. So now this time it's going to be on the top, and then it's going to be the outside on each side. Outside, outside. I'll turn it so you can see. Okay, so that's the main pattern of Huggins. Now we're going to go ahead and let it go ahead and go out. Well, I'll make 2 more at the very tip top because we have some space. So I'm just mirroring what we had and then filling in around the top. All right, so now let's go ahead and do the sides. So I'm just going to go straight out. Go from the orb out. Go from the orb underneath the border. Go from the orb underneath the border. So I'm just going straight out. From the orb to the border. From the orb to the border. Okay. On both sides. From the border to the orb, either way, or the orb to the border. Just making this pattern complete. Orb to the border. Border to the orb, and then here at the bottom, orb to the border, orb to the border, and at the very bottom, orb to the border and border to the orb. So the basic pattern of Huggins is now finished. So now we're going to go back in and put our little embellishes on it. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to aura the lines, the inside lines that we made. So just watch what we're doing, the inside lines. So the ones that are curving on the inside. Okay, so we have finished doing our auras, and now we're going to go back in and make our little orbs darker. Just go back over the orbs and make them a little bit wider, a little bit more pronounced. Okay, now we're going to go back up and we're going to put triangles on the ends where it's the widest. So a triangle here coming out, and then mirror it on the other side, a triangle coming out from the widest parts of our huggins. So where you see the wide part, this is where we're going to put a triangle, and then mirror it on the other side. And then coming out over here, putting your triangle in, and then mirror it on the other side. And we're just going to fill in these little triangles to do the final embellishment on huggins. This one, just picture where it would go under the border and just fill it in. Okay, Huggins is now finished. And so we're going to move on to our fourth tangle for the day, and that's going to be printemps. So just go to the segment to the right, and we are going to make printemps in this one. And it's just a series of spirals. So just pick a spot to start and do a spiral. And that's the beginning. Now we're going to do more spirals, and as we get close to the border and the other spiral that we just made, we're going to go underneath, and then we'll fill in any extra space between them with just the ink of the Sharpie, like right there. And we're just going to go have fun making spirals and filling in on the sides, and then we'll put some weight to them in just a few minutes. So let's go ahead and label it down here after we fill in this little spot right here. And we'll just go ahead and label this segment. This section is printemps. And then we can go ahead and go up to the top of the pumpkin and finish this space. Okay, so now let's go back in to the printemps where these spirals are and put a little weight on the lines. So I'm just making some of the spirals a little bit wider, and it just sort of gives the illusion that it's rising above the other ones. So just make some of the lines a little bit wider to give it that look that it's rising up. The spiral is rising up. Okay, so printemps is now finished. And so we have completed part 2 of our pumpkin project. And I hope that you were able to take a break from your day to relax and draw with jetties, wysteria, huggins, and printemps. And I will see you tomorrow for part 3. Bye for now.